Hi guys, Hassan Khan here again, talking more about the science of success and achievement. If I was to ask you how you feel when you think about and read the word massage, what would you tell me? Would you feel good? What images or thoughts would come to your mind? Most people enjoy massages, and if you're like most people, you'll feel a calmness and a sense of peace come over you when you think about getting a massage. This is common. Our minds naturally make connections with things around us, with words, sights, smells, sounds, etc. And we end up associating ideas with these connections. This is the essence of what is called priming, where an initial cue will color a thought, action, or decision that is waiting to be had or made. It's one of the most fascinating insights that comes from the world of social psychology and behavioral economics. And it's so powerful that it can change the trajectory of people's lives. Now imagine you're at the supermarket and you're interested in thinking about buying some wine. You see a display for both French and German wines, which are both about the same price and quality. Which wine would you choose? What would you base your decision on? Anything in particular? In an actual study that was done, researchers put French and German wines next to each other in a supermarket aisle, along with small French and German national flags. Over the period of a few weeks, the researchers alternated between playing French and German music in the supermarket. When the French music was played, 77% of wine buyers purchased the French wine. When the German music was played, 73% of consumers selected the German wine. The music shaped the purchases of consumers, but almost 90% of shoppers denied that this had anything to do with their purchases. What this study indicated was that what comes through our senses influences how we make decisions, even though we think that these things are completely irrelevant. This is just a simple example of a priming effect, about how our minds naturally make connections and how we make associations with ideas. So if someone introduces a cue to you, a word, a smell, a symbol, or a sound, your mind pulls you down an associative path. Priming plays a part in framing our perception as well, and magicians use this all the time in their magic tricks. Priming people with expectations and labels can have incredible effects. In another revelatory experiment, Asian American women were asked to take an objective mathematics exam. The women were divided into two groups. One of the groups was asked questions related to their gender, like co-ed preferences, in an attempt to prime their thoughts for gender-related issues. The other group was asked questions related to race, like languages they spoke and family history, in an attempt to prime their thoughts for race-related issues. What was remarkable is that the results and performances of the two groups matched the stereotypes of both Asian Americans and women respectively. So for Asian Americans, this was that they are gifted in mathematics and science. And for females, it's they are weak in mathematics. Those individuals who were primed on matters of race, and as such were reminded that they were Asian American, performed significantly better than those who were primed on matters of gender, which reminded participants that they were female, that they were women. The findings show that our behavior and performance can be influenced by expectations and stereotypes, and how the activation of expectations and stereotypes can influence our state of mind, and how we actually view ourselves at particular moments in time. Another study has shown that women, who are sometimes less confident in leadership roles, can be primed to feel empowered and more powerful, more confident when delivering a speech in public if they can see a photograph of a powerful female figure, like Angela Merkel or Hillary Clinton, for example. Now, people can be primed to be more creative simply by being shown the Apple logo. And you can even prime people to be amused or to find things funnier by getting them to hold a pencil horizontally in their mouths like this, something that replicates the shape of a real smile. You can change physiology with this stuff. Research has shown that behavior can be shifted and changed through exposure to words, smells, and visual background. For example, after being exposed to words associated with the elderly, primed subjects walked 13% slower than subjects seeing neutral words. And after being exposed to words associated with rudeness, primed subjects interrupted others quicker and faster than those who weren't primed. While reviewing web pages showing two sofa models, participants chose the more comfortable model when they saw a background with fluffy clouds, and favoured the cheaper sofa when they saw a background with coins. Now, if you're somebody who is in marketing or brand development, or if you're selling something, or if you deal with people, which is pretty much everyone and all of us, think about the ways that this could be used to help you achieve better results. There's so many. I'm always blown away by the power of this stuff, by the power of framing. It allows us to influence others and ourselves by setting a reference point or a context and providing cues and setting expectations. And we can actually learn to do this ourselves. We can prime people with expectations and labels that in turn act as influencing agents and mechanisms. So how might you be able to use the power of priming and expectations in the things that you do to influence those around you and get them to do what you'd like, or to get more out of them, or to get them to reach their potential? How might you be able to nudge somebody to complete a task for you, or to fill in a survey, for example? One experiment conducted by a few communication scientists looked into this specifically, and in this experiment, when a simple request was made to participate in a survey, the success rate was dismal. Only 30% of those asked to participate in the survey agreed to complete it. The scientists then tried another approach. They stopped a second sample of individuals and asked an opening question. They asked them if they considered themselves a helpful person. Now, if someone was to ask you this question right now, how would you respond? You'd say yes, right? Of course. Most people would. You'd like to think that you're a helpful person. Upon reflection, nearly everyone answered yes in this study. In that moment, after subjects had confirmed that they were helpful people, the researchers then pounced and asked for help with their survey. This time, 80% volunteered. The people felt like they had to behave and act consistently with what they had just said and acknowledged about themselves, that they were helpful people, and helpful people would complete the survey. That's 30% that jumps to 80% when you prime someone with an attribute that connects them to the behavior that you're seeking from them. So what if you wanted to get somebody to try something new, for example, or to do something a little bit different or unique? How would you go about doing this? Do you have any thoughts? These same scientists wanted to get people to try an unfamiliar new soft drink, and they asked people if they considered themselves adventurous. Now, when the people were just asked to try the product, only 33% said they'd try it. But after being asked if they considered themselves adventurous, and if they liked to try new things, 75% of them tried the drink. These findings are remarkable. Firstly, when the people were asked if they considered themselves adventurous, almost all of them said that they were, which is ludicrous. That many people in a large group are definitely not all adventurous. But people like to assign certain positive characteristics to themselves, like them being helpful, like them being smart, like them being hardworking, like them being tolerant, and like them being adventurous, as in this case. We like to think that we're all of these good things, when most of the time, we're not. So when asked if they fit into this positive category, people will almost always say yes. Such is the power of these positive priming and attribution strategies. And then after people have said yes to this, they feel like they have to behave consistently with this statement that they've just made about themselves. And an adventurous person would obviously try a new product, a new soft drink. That's how you can gain compliance with something. That's how you increase the likelihood of getting something done. That's how you get somebody to do something that you want from them. Prime them with an attribute that connects them to the behavior that you're seeking from them. Consider these real-life studies and examples. When voters are told that they're more politically active than their peers, even if they were actually chosen at random, they have a 15% higher turnout rate when it comes to voting. When people giving donations are told that they're above average givers, even if they're not, they in turn donate more and become above average donation givers. When a computer gives automated compliments to students, those students perform better on a number of tasks, even when the students know that those compliments are automated. Now, if you want to get an employee or a subordinate to deliver good work for you, or to work harder, ask them if there's somebody who takes pride in their work. They'll obviously say yes, and they will work harder to deliver higher quality work for you as a result. You could tell them that you know that they can get things done because they're a hard worker, that you know that they are dedicated, or that you know that they're extremely knowledgeable about a particular topic or subject. by simply telling those around us what we expect of and from them, or just telling them that they are what you'd like them to be, we can unleash the power of positive expectations when it comes to their high performance. Telling students this, if you're a teacher, is something that can transform their lives. Telling them that you believe in them, that you can't wait to see their work because you know how talented and hardworking they are. They will in turn believe that they are talented and smart, and they work harder to be consistent with and live up to this view and expectation that you have of them. This leads to better performance. There's also a vast amount of research done on what happens when teachers actually believe a student is especially talented. They begin to lavish extra attention on them and they hold them to higher standards and expectations. They expect them to excel, and that expectation becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is science. It's proven. If you're a doctor or a dentist and you want a patient to choose the best treatment option, it might be more expensive, but it'll result in the best outcome for them. You ask them if they care about their well-being and the quality of their treatment. They'll say yes, of course they do. Well, if you care about your well-being and your treatment quality, then this is the option that gives you that. You prime them on the importance of their treatment quality. They'll obviously want to act consistently and in accordance with this, and it'll increase the likelihood of them choosing that particular treatment option. Do you see how clever this is and how powerful this can be? You're using the way the mind works to improve outcomes for people and to change their behavior. And it works for anything that you're trying to recommend, offer, or sell. If you're selling a bed, you ask a customer if they care about the quality and comfort of their sleep. When they say they do, they're much more likely to choose the option that is going to give them greater sleep and comfort, and even if it's a higher priced option. Priming can influence what people do, how well they remember things, how they perform and behave, and even how they respond to treatments. The reason is because of something called response expectancies. That once we expect something to happen, our thoughts, behaviors, and our reactions will contribute to making that thing actually occur. Using suggestion and priming in this way can be incredibly powerful and an incredibly powerful tool for accomplishing our goals. But all too often we let the opposite happen. We think only of our limitations. In these situations, the power of suggestion can actually sabotage our success. For example, if you tell yourself not to worry, you're actually priming yourself to worry, because the word or feeling of worry is being repeated to your subconscious. If you think you'll struggle at a new job, you'll likely feel more inhibited, and this leads to less than favorable outcomes. When you expect to struggle with a presentation, this will be the overriding feeling you take into that presentation, and you'll more than likely struggle with it as a result. But we can use this positively as well in so many areas of our lives. For example, it's much more influential and powerful to prime someone by saying please be on time, rather than please don't be late. When someone asks you how you're feeling, answering not bad will lead to the word bad lingering in their subconscious, which may provide a negative spark of connection when that person thinks of you. Our subconscious takes things literally, and it processes all of these connections. Our magicians are masters of priming and framing their suggestions. If you want a demonstration, send me a message on Instagram and I'll show you how I can read your mind using the power of suggestion and priming. The psychology of all of this is incredibly powerful, and it can make such a big difference to your life. I hope you're able to start finding ways to use it and to see how many ways you can use it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time.